Shipping containers carry a large percentage of the goods that we use in our everyday lives. We see them on ships, trucks, and trains, and most of the time just sitting around, stacked up in a pile. It's estimated that there are around 17 million shipping containers worldwide, yet we only use an average of 5 to 6 million of them. So what can be done with all the extra containers? Well, people are beginning to build with them. Peter Demaria is an architect and artist known for his non-conventional use of materials. Considered a trailblazer in the world of architecture, he has taken the practice of reuse in shipping containers to a whole new level of sophistication. I met up with Peter to get some insight into this booming trend in architecture. This project, Peter, is a mixed-use project, correct?
Correct.
What does that mean exactly?
Well, it's where we're taking a residential structure but combining it with a commercial or business use. And it's actually an ancient concept. You know, if you go back to Rome or even go to Boston if you like something more current, it's not uncommon for someone to live upstairs and have a restaurant downstairs. Okay, so there's a commercial space on the lower level here, which is a gallery, a studio, creative space. But the idea that someone could live upstairs and then work downstairs takes out of that big equation of driving to work, relying upon fossil fuel, doing all those things that really don't contribute to a sustainable lifestyle.
Green on Main in Venice, California is just one example of how Peter is raising the awareness of sustainability through the use of shipping containers in home construction. You know, we were talking earlier about how many are just left unused in the United States, and this is a wonderful application and a beautiful application. How many shipping containers did you use to build this use space?
It's actually 7 on these 2 floors, so 7 times 2 is 14. That's quite a big number in the container construction world. Typically, there's only 1 or 2 in a building, but this building is almost exclusively containers. That's another reason why it's one of my favorites, because it's taken the container to the max, and it's less of a hybrid type building than the others we've done where we mix metal studs and traditional stick frame construction with it. The other thing that's really nice about this, when we leave this in the raw, there's some folks who actually love this, and then there are others who kind of cringe. The best way for me to describe it is I remember when the Prius was first designed, most people cringed when they saw the Prius, and they said, what is this thing? It looks like an outer space kind of vehicle, and I'm not going to get in that. It just looks like one of those electric cars. But then all of a sudden it started to make financial sense, and people started to see the value of it in terms of sustainability. And now the Prius is this kind of elegant and aesthetically pleasing vehicle. So I think it's just a matter of folks getting comfortable with something that they otherwise have, they have a preconceived notion about. And typically, folks see a container in a shipping yard, or they'll see it in a junkyard, or they'll see it on the back of a truck, and it's blocked them up in traffic. So it's never been a pleasant experience. So when we showed it in a new light, all of a sudden it takes on a whole new life.
We are massive consumers. We consume on such a large scale, and the fact that you are a pioneer in reworking the minds of not just Americans, but people around the world on how we can take something and turn it into something quite beautiful and useful and respect the planet, just that smallest step more, I think is really a wonderful thing that you're doing, Peter. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Remember, the pioneers are usually the ones who get shot with the arrows first, and everyone else comes in and enjoys the benefit after. But if that's okay, that's okay. If that has to happen. It seems like everyone is following behind, and it's catching on quite nicely. Thank you so much.
I would be prepared to shield you because you're doing an incredible job.
Thanks so much.
The fundamentals to saving our environment come down to the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. And who knew that shipping containers would satisfy all 3, saving us money, energy, and natural resources, not to mention creating beautiful homes.